welcome to another episode of the BGC podcast. Today I am with Mr. Diamo Streaser. How you doing, man?
Good, all good. Thanks
Yeah.
for having me on. Looking forward to talking some. Excited.
Thanks for having us here in beautiful Watchung Valley Golf Club.
Yeah, welcome.
This is amazing. This is great.
Yeah, it's good. Course is in under snow right now,
Yeah.
but we're getting the clubhouse ready and getting set for another great season here in 2026. So
Yeah, this
looking
has
forward
been quite a winter, man. I don't think I remember the last time that we had such a cold winter here in New Jersey.
Yeah, definitely last year we didn't have much snow at all, and it was definitely a big hit this year with the amount that we got in that 1 week, and it's been covered ever since. But the rain's coming now, and it's warming up, so hopefully
Just little by
we'll
little,
be out there soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been here?
So I started in October of 2024. Got hired then. So last year was my first full season.
Mm-hmm.
And this year will be second full season. But prior to being here was at Arcola Country Club as an assistant for 5 years, Essex County for 2 years before that, and the Country Club up in Brookline for 2 years before that.
So take us back. So, you're originally from Bergen County, New Jersey, right?
Correct. Yep.
And at what age did you start playing golf?
It's a good question. So when I was very young, my dad put a couple things in front of me. He put a golf club, baseball bat, and a rake, and said, crawl to one. And of course, I crawled to the baseball bat. No, crawled over to the golf club. But I played, a lot of sports growing up. Sports was kind of my entire childhood. Played soccer, basketball, and baseball. And golf kind of came into the fold when I was young. Like we would go down the shore, and we'd go hit balls at the range. My dad would hit balls. I'd kind of be hanging out, me and my sister. And just kind of slowly over time, hit balls, then went over to Bel Air, little 9-hole course down there. I believe it's 18 now, but yeah, we're just kind of unfolded over time. When I was about 8 or 9 years old, we went down to Hilton Head, and my dad and his buddies went out on the course. I wanted to go, but I was a little bit young at the time, and we went to the range the next day, and I was striping him, and he's like, "That's the last time I leave you off the golf course." So, the rest is history. But again, kind of into middle school and high school, just kind of got more and more into it. Grew up playing the county courses in Bergen County, Darlington, Overpeck, Orchard Hills was right around the corner, 9-hole course. So
Darlington is great.
They got some good ones up there. And it was great to kind of learn on that growing up, understanding patience and degree, not everything's going to be perfect out there. So, but it was awesome. And, just kind of made the decision to switch over to golf in high school. And again, got better and better. It fell in love with it more and more.
Because I saw a couple of places that you, I've read in a couple of places, and I know you did another podcast recently, that you were an all-state kicker.
I was, yes. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Yes, so I played football and I played golf. Loved both of them. That's kind of where I came to.
You're a big guy for a kicker.
Yeah, no, I was tall. I was still the same height, but a little bit skinnier back then.
Yeah.
And so in high school, golf, football, and yes, an all-state kicker. But again, a long time ago. So when it came down to going to college, I had the opportunity to go play football. To pursue that, I just felt that golf would last a little bit longer, and I wanted to make a career out of it. And Coastal Carolina for me was perfect. We would go on family vacations down there. I'd seen the university before and fell in love with it right away.
So what was the moment that you actually decided, okay, you know what, like I want to have a career in golf?
Yeah, it's a good question. It kind of evolved over time, right? And so playing both football and golf in the trajectory kind of went down, I loved golf more and figured, sometime in my senior year, and found out that Coastal had the golf program down there, and me wanting to get out of New Jersey just for a little bit, and just that's what I felt. I was just like, hey, let's do this. Back when I was a freshman, we visited Coastal, and I was like, I'm going to come to school here. I said that to my parents, and they said, you'll change your mind a million times between now and then. And well, it didn't. So I just everything kind of fit, and loved that it was warm weather year round for the most part. They had a bunch of golf courses down there, beautiful, everything. So just decided that was the choice I was going to make, and it proved out to be very good.
Yeah, because I found this out when meeting, when I met my friend John, that I had no idea that you go to school for a 4-year college and you get a degree in like business management, like golf. It's actually golf business management or golf management.
So PGA golf management, and so at the time I think that I attended, there were about 18 accredited universities, meaning once you go through the program, you can become a PGA member. There are a few universities out there that's not the case. You can still do all the work, but have to go through the apprenticeship program. And it's changed a couple times, so I might be wrong on a few things, but it's dwindled down to a few less schools, but Coastal had a great program, and being right in Myrtle Beach area, along with, a couple other schools, Penn State being one of them, Methodist being another, all great programs, but Coastal just fit for me. And so the 4 years that I was there, you take regular classes, and you choose what essentially your major is going to be. So it's in the business school at Coastal, and at each other school, it can be different. But I chose my major to be finance, and the specialization is in PGA golf management. So in case golf didn't work out for whatever reason, I got a BS in finance. So if I ever wanted to go over to the city and do that, I could have, but golf's proved to be.
Which is very difficult. I mean, I know a lot of people that just, you get to you become an assistant, and you realize that it's a long road to the point where you can actually, I wouldn't say make a living, but make a if you especially if you have a family and stuff, it's quite a sacrifice to get to.
For sure, but any good thing comes with hard work and time. And so I've been told a lot of times you're not going to make a ton of money in this business and all that, but I felt that this is what I wanted to do. I didn't want to sit at a desk 24/7 in a cubicle or anything like that. I wanted to stay involved with sports, and golf was that avenue for me. I've enjoyed it. I mean, the journey so far, in my time at Coastal, we had to do internships each summer, and being from New Jersey here and having so many great clubs and so many great professionals, was fortunate enough that Bill Hook hired me at Knickerbocker to work outside. But it was a great first year internship. Learned a lot from him. Still a very good friend to this day. And from there, go over to Glen Ridge Country Club and work for Tommy Monteverdi. Another great professional who's made his way down to North Carolina, so I'm happy for him. He's enjoying life down there. And it's from being in New Jersey, like obviously I'm from here, love this area, but made my kind of connections here and decided to branch out and get out of here for a little bit, and went to Westchester Country Club in Westchester, New York.
But that was as an assistant, or?
So it was all internships.
Internships.
Yeah. So Knickerbocker was 3 months. Glen Ridge was 3 months. Westchester 3 months. Which we hosted the KPMG there back in 2015, the women's KPMG. So that was cool to be a part of. So all these places kind of getting that knowledge of whether it be outside operations, inside the golf shop, like just getting a full range of knowledge. I was fortunate enough to be hired up at the country club in Brookline for my last internship, which was 7 months. And and got invited to be back there for a year as an assistant.
A year or something.
And
how was that experience? I mean, it doesn't get as high as the country club, right?
yeah, no, it is terrific.
Yeah.
You know, Brendan Walsh, my mentor up there, mentor to many, as you'll find in this industry, is second to none up there. So he's, you know, and the country club itself is terrific. It's Boston, so it's a little, you know, me being from down here, I'm a Yankees fan and I'm a Giants fan. They didn't love me too much up there, but it all worked out. It was a terrific 2 years, learned so much about the operation there, but just about the industry itself. And couldn't have asked for a better experience. And just made the decision after 2 years that I wanted to come back to New Jersey. And at the same time, I was going down to Florida, working down there, and did that for 5 seasons in the winter, and came back to New Jersey to work at Essex County.
So what would you say would be the most important thing that you learned working at the country club?
Get to know people, you know, remembering names. That's a big one. Like I do have a good memory. It's a little bit easier at a club that has 300 or so members. Up there we had about 800 golf members and 1,300 members in general. So getting to know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
How many courses? It's just.
They have 27 holes.
27 holes, yeah.
27 holes. And so big membership, but getting to know each individual, remembering them when you see them, turn the corner. Hey, Mr. Davis. Hey, Mr. Aritza. All the everything like that. So, you know, understanding all of that was pretty big up there, and bringing it back down to New Jersey at a smaller club, it's a little bit easier, but it matters. You know, like if you walk into the golf shop, I'll say, hey, Danny, because I know you now, but Mr. Aritza, good to see you. That before you even say anything, that shows that person behind the counter cares about you. Like it makes your day better, right? So that's a huge aspect of it.
You know, it's just I mean, me working my other businesses and stuff. It's always customer experience and being acknowledged. You know?
Correct.
A lot of times you're waiting in a place and nobody says anything. It's like,
right.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to walk into the golf shop and person behind the counter is just kind of on their phone waiting for you to come purchase something. You're gonna ask them about their day. You're gonna say hi. You know, see how their kids are doing if they have kids. See how they played the other day. Get to know the individuals. Show that you care, because you do care. And so it's a big part of it.
So I know you mentioned that that one of the things that you look forward to is being able to help assistants go through the process and become head pros at some time. Like, what is a typical day for an assistant pro? How does it look like?
Here, show up and you know, make sure that the shop looks presentable. All the merchandise in the golf shop. If I have a guy or girl that's in charge of ladies program, making sure we're taking care of any kind of communication that we have to, clinics wise, tournaments wise, you know, just day to day. It depends on how busy it is, right? But kind of just, again, being out in front of the membership and talking to them, and not just standing behind the counter, move around throughout the shop, move around outside, go help out with the outside operation if they need any help out there. Kind of just be visible, right? Because we don't want to just sit back at our desks and do our work and keep our head down. Always got to make sure that our blinders aren't on, and we're aware of everything going on. On a day like today, we'd be doing inventory and cleaning and doing all that. But just, you know, typical duties day to day can vary. And, you know, we have a good team here. I have I had last year 2 assistants and an intern, and this year we'll have 3 assistants. They're all from New Jersey. Great group of guys, and looking forward to year 2 here. Again, for me, in year 1 was just kind of figuring it all out, listening more so than trying change a lot of things.
Which is always tough. I mean, that's it's difficult to go into a place and change a culture.
Yeah.
It takes a while.
For sure. And year one, I think we did a good job of kind of handling whatever came our way. And the crew that we assembled here has been awesome. So in terms of mentoring and developing them, that's a huge part of my job, right? And so I've had some pretty great mentors throughout the years help me get to my place where I am here. So my goal is to help those individuals that work here as well, to help them progress in their career, whether it's here or move them on to somewhere else. And that's a huge part of being a great golf professional.
Yeah. Now, how do you balance it? Because the first thing that somebody who's not in the golf industry or somebody outside of that maybe doesn't belong to a private club, they think, okay, you're a head pro, you're an assistant, you're playing a lot of golf.
Yeah.
And of course, you got into this business. Most people get into this business because they love golf.
Right.
But how do you balance the desire to compete and play around with the demands of a job? Because this is, again, it's a real job.
Yeah. So I've always been in the mindset of work hard, play hard, right? And so, there's times throughout the week or throughout the season that there won't be enough time to go out there and practice just off and get away from the golf shop. But you got to just kind of find little pockets, right? And again, love to compete, and the New Jersey PGA does a great job of setting up tournaments throughout the season. There's practically one every single week, whether it be an assistant event, an open stroke play event, which involves all the professionals in the section, or pro-ams every week, take members out to those pro-ams. So that's just another way of getting reps in, going out. It's a huge way because I get to bring 3 members from here, or 3 people that I know, and get to know them better, and they get to know me better, and it's just overall like a terrific.
You get to go to some really cool places.
We got a lot of really good clubs here in New Jersey, and again, the section does a great job of reaching out and getting those places booked and available. And we'll have an event here later this year in August, an open stroke play event, and we're always willing to host and bring people here to see what Watchung's all about.
Which is a great place. I read that you won the 2022 NJ assistant PGA championship. Or?
Yes, 2022 was a good year. Prior to that, I'd played well, but never really got over that edge of playing, like winning a tournament or being close to winning a tournament, right? Again, a good player, have a lot of talent, but I never kind of put it together. And in 2022, actually an assistant event here, I won and shot 68. And so that was part of the process. When I got hired here, I made sure I bolded that on the resume, right? Yeah. So won that assistant event that year, and played well in a few other events. Was fortunate enough that at Arcola we were able to play and practice a lot, and have a really good facility there. So took the time to kind of hone in on a lot of things there. And yes, the Assistant Players Championship, which is the top 30 in Assistant Player of the Year points. We play 36 holes in one day. That was at the Knoll that year. And the last hole, I knew kind of where I was. Right, I was at even par. I knew where I stood, kind of. You can follow along. And I was kind of checking, kind of just like, hey, let's finish this out. And we started on the second hole in the second round. So the first hole was my last hole. Mm-hmm. Hit a good drive, and then proceeded to hit a gap wedge in and hold it out to win the tournament. So that was pretty cool. Highlight of the year there. So so that was so won that.
What was the winning score?
2 under.
2 under.
Yeah,
so it was,
yeah, that was it. So came in, all the, like most of the cards were in. I handed it in. They're like, "Okay, you won."
You
like,
won.
Great.
How many tournaments have you won in general?
Just those two.
Just those
well,
two.
and then this past year, myself and David, our owner here, we won the pro president at Hackensack, which is special to me too, because growing up, again, I played county courses, but my dad, my family joined Hackensack back in 2010. So to be able to go back there and play really well and win a tournament there was awesome. So it's kind of full circle moment there.
Yeah. So you mentioned what are the majors for the NJPGA? How many majors and what are those?
Yep. So we have we start off the year, and it's not a major, but we start off the year with our pro event that's down at Galloway. Gracious host every single year. That's a 2-day event to kind of kick off the season. The 4 majors that we do have are our match play tournament, which will be at North Jersey this year. And then we have, our charity clam bake, which is a big pro-am event, but also a individual stroke play event for pros, is going to be at Manasquan River this year, which is great. Looking forward to that. I bring my dad every single year, so it's going to be fun going down there. And then we do our section championship, which will be at Plainfield this year. And then the fall finale is our last major, which is the top 40 players and player of the year points. And that'll be at Crestmont this year. So it's shaping up to be a great season. I'm looking forward to competing and hopefully being in that fall finale, so that way we can be in that top 32.
And then you guys also some of you guys tried to qualify for the PGA Championship.
Yes, the National Club Pro. So that'll be the qualifier is at Plainfield for the section championship. So depending on how many spots we get, that's where you can try to qualify for the National Club Pro and make it hopefully to the PGA Championship.
Usually what kind of score though gets you into those?
Under par.
Under par?
It depends on where this year. I'm sure Plainfield will be really tough. That's a great golf course over there, and they can make it pretty difficult. So I'm sure it depends every year. But you got to play 3 good rounds of golf, stay in it. And last year was at Knickerbocker. It was terrific. The greens were lightning and everybody had a blast.
Yeah.
My previous boss, Grant, won the tournament there. And he's a tremendous player in his own right. So he's played in a couple PGA championships. So
what's the closest you've ever been to?
I've made the cut a couple times, but I haven't quite gotten to that. Play good on that last day, right? Played 2 good rounds and then have 1 bad shot that kind of leads to a couple more. And but the goal is to make it close and hopefully qualify.
I know you mentioned that how you could be a good player, but sometimes you cannot it's hard to put it together. Obviously a mental side, but it's a big thing when it comes to playing in these tournaments. But what do you think it's like? What is the difference between some guy that's always qualifying for these things? Because all of you guys are amazing.
Yeah.
We guys are striped.
We have a lot of really good players in this section. I think the difference is mental, right? You put the reps in, you go practice, you do all that, but once it comes time to the actual tournament, you're not thinking ahead, right? You're just thinking about the next shot or the hole that you're on, or just repeating what have a game plan of how you're going to attack the course each day, right? And so I think that's the difference. And guys that have been there before have a little bit more experience, so they're automatically going to might play a little bit better. But to get to that point, a lot of it is once you get to a certain point in your golf swing, the level that we're at is, yes, you're doing the same thing repetition-wise, but mentally, how are you going to be different from that other player that you're playing next to? So I think that's a big part of it.
And how do you prepare for a tournament like that? Like, I'm just thinking here myself, and I'm like, okay, whenever I go out there, I'm just like, hey, just hit it in the fairway, or just don't put it behind a tree or in the water.
Yeah.
Do you guys set yourself up where you say, okay, you know what, this hole I need to be on the right side from the tee. I need to.
Ideally, yeah.
Ideally, I mean, I know that
Yeah, no, I mean, prior to the event, try to at least get 1 or 2 9-hole rounds in just to kind of get the swing moving, like depending on the time of year, right? So if we can play more prior to, great. If not, the day before, kind of just practicing short game putting. If you get out for 9 holes, great. It all depends prior to. But yes, ideally on certain courses, you want to be in good positions for your next shot into the green. But I am probably a little bit more on I'm just trying to hit it out there and then move on to the next, and figure out, just kind of problem solve where to go from there. But it's, it depends. So
yeah. Now, do you still teach a lot, or do you?
Yeah. So we have a pretty good practice facility here. Great membership that's willing to take lessons. Myself and one of my other assistants give lessons out here. Work with what we got here, and still continue to teach. In terms of teaching, I'm more of a feel guy than I would be a mechanic guy. I like to speak in layman's terms to most. I mean, some people aren't going to know what ulnar deviation is, right? So try to familiarize yourself with, the student, client, whoever it may be, and understand what they can understand. And in general, kind of work on feel and getting to a certain place, as opposed to all the metrics and all that, which I think are good to have. A TrackMan or a simulator. We don't have a simulator here, but those are all great. But when we're talking about lessons, we want to feel like we're getting to a better place, and that's kind of where I focus my teaching around.
Yeah, because it's difficult. I mean, I always say this to people that I interview. It's like, listen, I'm not. If you start to learn a bunch of technical terms, I'm like lost.
Yeah.
And it's just not many people that actually know how to speak that language. It takes a while.
For sure, right? And so knowing what kind of player you're dealing with, right? If it's a scratch and they've been doing this for a long time, they might understand some of those terms, right? But if you have a 15 handicap that's just looking to, hit a straighter shot, then we work on that. So it's about, figuring out exactly what the student is looking to accomplish in the lesson. If they want a quick fix, we give them a quick fix, but then they'll be coming back in a couple of weeks asking for another quick fix, so on and so forth. So it all depends, but just kind of, not trying to fit them into a specific swing, not fitting the same person into a specific swing, each person, understanding that everybody swings it different, and getting them into a good position to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish.
How do you feel about, nowadays? I mean, there's so many people that have access to a TrackMan simulator, all these things. How do you feel about those people, just in the winter? For example, myself, last couple of years in the winter, I felt that me going to a golf simulator all winter long just made me worse, because it just it was way too much information for me.
Again, I think the information is good if you know what to focus on, right? You can throw up a whole bunch of numbers, but for each individual, somebody might be you might need to focus on club head speed, whereas somebody else might need to focus on attack angle. And if you're looking at attack angle when you should be looking at club head speed, so that's where we come in. We're trying to gear, once you have all those numbers, try to gear you towards a specific set. Know hey, this is what we're trying to accomplish. This is what we're trying to improve, and then move on to and we're going to do it by doing this, right? And so I think it's amazing, all the technology that's out there. I think it's good to hit the simulator a couple times in the winter. For those that do it every single day, great. I'm not one of those people that does that. I tend to like to see my ball fly outside, so I kind of reserve just going to play golf in warmer weather during the winter months, and we'll hit the simulator once or twice. But it's, again, for each individual, it can be different, and it's good that we have all of this technology and because there's opens up so many different avenues for professionals in the industry, and for students and players to kind of use. It's terrific.
Yeah. What do you think is the biggest mistake that I don't know, maybe like the 10 to 15 handicap
Mhm.
makes when trying to get better?
Not focusing on their short game enough. You know, you go to the range and you hit balls, right? And you're hitting drives, and you're more times than not, you're hitting a lot of drives. And when you go out in the golf course, you're only going to hit your driver maybe 14 times, depending on the golf course and the setup and all that. You're where the game is won is around the green, and you know, obviously focus on hitting your iron so that way you don't have to chip, right? But more times than not, you're not going to hit 18 greens out of 18 greens in regulation, right? And so you have to focus getting yourself out of certain situations, chipping, you know, from short side or from bunkers or wherever, and then putting is a major thing that, you know, when you go out on the golf course, right, or when you're about to go play, your routine is, and I don't know what your routine is, you
Yeah.
can tell me, but typically most will go to the range, hit a couple shots
Yeah.
with a couple clubs, come back, hit a couple putts, and go right out, right? They're
Yeah.
not really, most aren't focusing on putting or chipping. I mean, I've seen it's gotten better for sure. Players, you know, more and more professionals talk about using short game and practicing that. So it's definitely gotten better. I've seen that, but not enough focus on that, I would think.
What do you think should be like the ideal routine? I'm sure everyone's different, of course, but like if you had to tell somebody, hey, this is what you should be doing before going out and play.
Yeah, I don't, again, everybody's different. So I don't have my routine is go out to the putting green, hit a couple putts before a tournament, right? So go over to the putting green, hit a couple putts, right? And then go over to the range and hit, you know, a couple wedges, couple irons, long irons, driver, so on and so forth. Then go over to short game, hit a couple bunker shots, hit a couple wedges from different areas. That's my routine, right? I'm not saying that is the best routine. Again, everybody is different. You have to focus on kind of what you think you need the most work in. And even before like a tournament round, you don't want to think too much about certain things, about certain aspects of the game, right? All you're trying to do is get the feel of your swing and focus on that one, you know, the one shot, the next shot moving forward. So
should you be thinking swing in the range?
No. I don't. Again, the more that you think about all these different things going through your brain, the more your brain's going to be scrambled when you're out in the course. So you want to free your mind out there. So again, everybody is different, but I try not to think about a specific anything out there. I'm just going to hit the ball. We're going to play the next shot. We're going to move forward and, you know, take advantage of the good opportunities when we're out there.
Yeah, it's I have that issue that even my, you know, the guy Hager, Ryan Hager, that I go and see, he was like, you have to stop consuming tips. You have to stop consuming anything on social media. Just don't think about it.
Yeah, and you know, like YouTube golf is great, right? Like again, another avenue for a lot of individuals to progress their career. But you know, for the average golfer, there's a lot of information out there, and they'll look at a YouTube tip and think it applies to them, where when it might not, right? And you might be the total opposite. You just think that because you're like, oh, this guy does it, I have to do it, you know. And I think that's kind of where just a lot of mistakes are made, and so it's you just have to kind of work your way through all the information and you know, go to either a local professional or somebody that you trust and kind of figure it out however you're supposed to.
Now, on the other side, you know, many really good players, they don't have the issue with the swing, but of course they have the issue with decision making. What is your you know, what do you think, what's your advice for someone to help to get better at decision making in the course?
Yeah, so again, I think it's minimize the damage, right? And so you hit one bad shot, it's one bad shot. It doesn't have to be another bad shot, another bad shot, another bad shot, right? And so if you hit one, you know, behind a tree, right, or in the trees or something like that, don't try to make that heroic shot just to get the ball closer to the green, right? You can still hit out from behind the tree, get it back into the fairway, hit an approach, and maybe you make a par. You just have to minimize your damage, right? So if you put yourself in a situation, get out of that situation immediately and then move forward from there, as opposed to trying to, again, make that heroic shot, which can make it a lot worse, right? And so take your medicine, move on, and then play better on the next hole, right? And it's a long round. It's 18 holes. It's not just one hole. It's 18 holes. And there's a lot that can happen within that time frame, 9 holes or 18 holes, whatever kind of tournament you're playing in, or just an average round. But a lot of the shots, it's easy. You can shave off a lot of shots. If you're 20 handicap, you can become a 10 handicap pretty quick, right? And then so on down the line. Once you get to that 5 handicap and below, it becomes a little bit more difficult to continue going down and understand that. But you can shave a lot of shots off by just making smart decisions and getting out of trouble quick.
So what gets you from a 5 to a scratch?
A little bit more work.
Yeah, a lot more time.
Fine tuning, right? And kind of, again, still making good decisions. But kind of, again, then more and more short game comes into play. And if you can keep it straight off the tee, like that's the easy part, right? And then get your approach shot in, sure. But working on your short game will definitely help. But it's more fine tuning at that point that gets you from that 5 to 0. And so, yeah.
So now, and I keep telling, this kind of applies to me a lot, but for example, I got down as low as a 6. And me with my business background, I always, when I went into a round, my thinking was like, listen, I gotta shoot at 75. This is what I'm going for. Never worked out.
Of course not.
Never worked out. It was like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
So, when you're in your best rounds, and you can tell me what was your best round ever, but in your best rounds, what was the thinking behind it? How did it happen? Like, what should somebody be thinking when they want to really have a good score?
Not a whole lot of anything, right? Just enjoying kind of where the place that you're at. The 68 that I shot out here that day, it was started off with a birdie, and then kind of, again, moved to the next hole, hit a good shot, another birdie, and just kind of got myself to a good place, a couple under par. And then after the 9th hole, I took a deep breath, and I'm like 3 under par, and I'm like, okay, I've never been here before. Just take a deep breath. We're good, right? Like, continue. And there are a couple bogeys here and there, but like taking advantage of certain situations that you're in, whatever is dealt in front of you. And again, not thinking about, I have to get the club back to this position or do this. Like, just swing your swing, and have fun. I mean, we're out playing golf, competing, right, and enjoying, but it's fun, right? I always said growing up, like, if I ever got super upset on the golf course or wherever because I was playing bad, then I wouldn't continue playing. Or I've thrown a couple clubs here and there. We all have, right? But I'd never want to get to a point where I'm just like disgusted playing golf. Like, good golfer, yes, I have some bad rounds here and there, but there's always next time to go out there and play well, and just continuing. And again, we're outside, nice warm day, playing golf. Not many people can do that on a daily basis or a weekly basis, whatever it might be. So just fortunate to be in that and enjoy the time that you're having, and and especially when play golf with members, right? And you're out there, you're not there. You're there to play well, right? But you're not there to show off or do anything. Like, you're there to get to know the membership better. If you have a bad shot, I'm not going to let it affect me out there, because I'm there to get to know them. They get to know me. We play. We have a good time, right? We're not again, we're not going for low course record or anything like that. Like, we're just there to enjoy being out on the golf course, getting away from whatever you want to get away from and coming here and just enjoying it.
So now on the other side, if you're playing for something that means a lot to you, club championship or one of the NJPGA Tour or State Open, and you're out there, you're playing extremely well, boom, double, triple, because of,
Sure.
you just happen to one bad shot, and then how do you recover from that mentally?
Just realize that it's one hole. It's not the whole entire tournament, right? And so, again, take a step back, deep breath. Really focus on breathing. That's a lot of players will tense up and not breathe when they're over a putt or a shot or whatever it might be. So focusing on breathing, take a couple deep breaths, right? And remember, it's just one hole, and we move on to the next. And every other hole that you've played has been terrific. Let's go back to feeling that way and getting back to that. So it doesn't work every single time, but that's kind of the mindset that I like to keep when playing in those kinds of events.
Now, what I think I asked it, but didn't have the chance to answer. What is your best score ever?
68, which is out here. Yeah, I've had a couple very good rounds where there's been a lot of birdies, but the birdies also accompanied by a couple bogeys or double bogeys. So 68's my low score. The round at Hackensack at the Pro President last year had 7 birdies in there. That was
7 birdies.
Yeah. So I've had streaks of making a lot of birdies and been on a roll, but then there's the other half of the round that kind of comes into play. So I haven't quite put it all together.
Yeah.
It's there. Just have to kind of, again, focus on just good as opposed to anything else.
Now, I read, and I don't know how accurate this is, but you were playing at the New Jersey State Open, qualifying for the New Jersey State Open at Laurel Creek Country Club.
Yeah.
And that you shot it was 200 yards and you have a 2-iron?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So qualified for the State Open actually twice there. The first year, trying to remember because it was a while back, but yeah, I'm sure at some point I hit the 2-iron, which I still have.
You still have?
Yeah, and
I don't see many of those.
If it was 200 yards, I must have been doing something wrong because that should go a little bit further, but we'll say.
Yeah,
sure.
That's how I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure he hits it, but maybe it was like a nice little cut.
A little cut. Laurel Creek twice actually. Once it was nice out, once it was pouring rain, but I like that course. So yeah, it's been good to me for State Open qualifiers. This year we'll have the State Open at Morris County.
Yeah,
have to try to qualify for that there too. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's a great place.
Yeah, Morris County is beautiful. Craig Smith's director of golf there has been awesome. They've done so much for the section throughout the past couple of years, or as long as he's been there for. So looking forward to getting back there, hopefully.
And you guys are having a qualifier here?
Yeah, we're having an assistant open stroke play, which is essentially all professionals in the section can sign up and play for. So that'll be in August. The section hosts 4 of them throughout the course of the season, and we'll be one of them. So looking forward to having everybody here for that. Course will be in great shape, I'm sure. We'll have a good day.
Now, what do you think, coming back to here where we are in this beautiful place, what do you think makes Watchung Valley Golf Club special?
It's very, I alluded to it before, it's very unique. We have a super young membership. Call it 75% is between the age of 21 and 45. So very young, really good people here. The golf course itself has seen so much change throughout the course of the past decade and its history. It used to be, every hole used to be tree lined out here. You couldn't see any of this from from, again, a decade ago. And all the trees have been removed. It has Seth Raynor bones to the golf course, so we have a lot of template holes out here, which makes it unique and fun. We have a punch bowl par 3, which is very rare. A lot of fun there. Cape hole on 10, Alps hole on 14, and so many other holes out here that make it. You look at it and you're like, oh, it's just straight. But every hole has kind of a different challenging aspect to it, and it's a lot of fun. You can go low out here. Good players can go low. But you can also kind of shoot a big number. And for the average golfer, like, it's very fair off the tee. You just gotta kind of maneuver from there, and it's just awesome. It's a lot of fun. Saw a lot of potential in this place when I applied for the head golf professional job. I'd seen where it was prior to and where it is now, or where it was back in 2024 and where it is now. It just always, every single year, kind of getting a little bit better and better, and more is being invested into the golf course and the clubhouse. So it's a great time to be here at Watchung Valley, and the membership's terrific, and you had a good year 1. Hopefully year 2's just as good.
It's gonna be even better. What's your favorite hole here?
15 is certainly favorite hole, which is out that way. Short par 4 down the hill. Has a bunker that wraps around the backhand side.
I know.
Yep. So that's a lot of fun. 5 is also, I like views and looking out. So
yeah, because this is kind of in that. I mean, a lot of holes are in.
Yeah.
In
So we're on the side of the second Watchung Mountain, which is actually the same ridge as Baltusrol, further down the same ridge. So same ridge that the upper's on. And so 5 tee box sits up top on the hill, and it's a par 5 that you hit down to. That for me, I can get home in 2. Which is a lot of fun too. So that's what makes it great. I'm sure that doesn't
apply to me, but
you might be able to. I haven't seen you hit the ball. We'll have to get you out here this
Trust
year.
Me, no, yeah.
But yeah, so those are 2 great holes. But again, everything's kind of been changed throughout the course of the past decade, and I've seen all those changes. It just makes it awesome. We have a 6-hole short course we call the merry-go-round. That's a lot of fun for kids and families and all that. There's just a lot of different aspects.
I have to say, when I was here, I want to say maybe 2 years ago, I was in love with that. I was
awesome.
Just there, just partying and just going at it. And it was like, I could be here all day long.
Yeah, it's a good use of the space, right? And so, again, it's something new every single year, and there's something, again, being invested into the club. It's a great space and a good spot for sure.
Yeah. So let's go to some, I want to say, fun questions. It's not really rapid fire, but kind of like that. So, blade irons or cavity backs?
Cavity back for the most part for me. Cavity back.
Yeah. Now, walking with a caddy, push car, or riding?
Walking with a caddy, typically in the morning. In the afternoon, taking a cart and zipping around and having a couple drinks.
Yeah. This one, and you can elaborate on this one, but what would you say is the most underrated course in New Jersey?
Underrated course in New Jersey. I don't want to be biased and say any place that I have worked at before. I don't know if Mountain Ridge is really good, and same with Hollywood. Those are 2 of my favorites. I don't know if I would say that they are underrated, but they can, those 2 are terrific. I
haven't had the chance to go to Mountain Ridge, but Hollywood is, love it.
Yeah, right. They're terrific. Love every time we step foot on the property there.
Yeah. If you could play one course in the world tomorrow, where would it be? And why?
Cypress Point. I love views, being on the ocean, and that seems like it's terrific, just being out there. And I actually I said to my dad, I was like, we got to make a trip out to Pebble Beach after watching the Pro-Am, because I was like, we haven't been out there yet. We got to make that happen. obviously Cypress is right around the corner from there. I hear nothing but amazing things.
I mean, I watched the Walker Cup last year, and it was just like
it's beautiful,
it's
right?
like-
I'd play there.
I would be happy just walking there. If I can just
Correct.
walk it, I'll be like, okay, this is amazing.
Been fortunate enough to play a lot of good places, but Cypress would be one.
So actually, going back to that, what is the one place that you have played already where it's like, okay, you know what? If I get the call, I'm there tomorrow.
Besides Pine Valley?
Besides Pine Valley.
National's a favorite of mine. Out there on Long Island. Again, with with template holes and all that stuff, like just that whole area there. I mean, Sabonic's terrific too. I haven't played Shinnecock, but National would for sure be that.
What is the toughest hole that you have ever played?
Yeah, I saw that on one of your podcasts prior to. That's a good.
And you can think about it.
Yeah. I mean, toughest hole would be something like out there at National. I think it's the third hole, which is the Alps hole, which is it's like a dog leg, or it's straight, and then your approach shot is over this giant mound that you can't even see the green, this massive green that you're hitting to. That would be a tough one. There's a lot of tough holes out there. Just one that's one I can remember, but other than that, I don't know. Yeah.
Now, what will be what's your, if would you say that what's the best part of your game? Driver?
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day.
Historically, probably driver. Historically, putting has been a weaker spot of mine. But yeah, sometimes putting, I mean, in 2022, putting was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably off the tee historically is the better part of my game.
Tiger or Jack?
What do you mean? Who's better?
Who do you?
I mean, Tiger for me. I know Jack's really good and has the record, but Tiger for me because I grew up.
You grew up,
watching him.
What's the best memory of him? I mean, so it sounds so bad because I feel like he's still.
Yeah. So, fortunately, being a PGA member, we're able to attend the Masters. One ticket each year can do that. And I fortunately got the opportunity to work at Augusta at Berkman's Place for the putting experience there for 2 years. Thanks to my past boss, David Coates from Essex County. But before that, in 2019, I went with a couple of my buddies, all golf pros. We went, and they were there for the full week, but I was working in Florida, so I drove up Wednesday night through the night to get to Augusta. First time I'd ever been there. And so get to Augusta, get there at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and then like sleep for 2 hours, and then go to the tournament. And
gotta do what you gotta do, you know.
First time there, I mean, just absolutely incredible. In 2019 was the year that Tiger won. So I mean, the amount of stories that I have from that week. I think on Friday, weather came in, and so they said there was lightning in the area, so they said to everybody to get off the golf course. So me and 2 of my buddies, we went all the way back to the car, and you don't have your phone, right? So get all the way back to the car, look at our phones, like see that the weather's kind of in the area, but it's not crazy, and get back to our phones. They say they allowed people back in. So we literally sprinted from the parking lot all the way down to Amen Corner to watch Tiger finish his round that day in the rain, whatever it was, and progressed through that week there. And watching him on Saturday was just, it was, you don't have your phone, so you're hearing the roars back and forth from whoever's making a putt here or who's hitting a good shot there. And we're underneath one of the big scoreboards, and we're back behind the 7th hole, and I'll never forget it. And we're watching, I forget exactly who was putting, but all of a sudden everybody looks up and shows Tiger made a birdie on a hole, and everybody's like, yeah. And it was the coolest feeling in the world to see see all of that for the first time, that whole trip, and watching him. And unfortunately, I had to drive back to Florida Saturday night. I stayed till the very end and drove through the night to go back to work.
Yeah.
And on Sunday, working down at Jupiter Island Club, and it was raining down there, and so they moved. And up in Georgia, I think they moved the tee times up, so it was like the middle part of the day when he eventually won. And I'm watching it on the iPad inside. It's raining outside, and there's one or two members that are coming out saying, "Hey, can we go play?" I'm like, "You can go do whatever you want. I'm going to watch history being made right here." Tiger winning the Masters in 2019, so that was a great memory.
I mean, that day I can, because I remember that they moved out the tea time, so they must have started maybe like 8:30, because I think that's the only time that they have split tea.
Sure.
And I just remember sitting in my couch.
Yeah.
And just, and I had a couple iPads, and I was like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah. It's cool. And to see it from that side, and then to see it from behind the scenes too, is terrific. So very fortunate to be able to witness all that.
Yeah. Now, what's the best thing about being a head pro that nobody tells you?
It's a good question. I wouldn't say there's a best thing. I think that, feeling that I've worked my way up to get to this position and be in this position and help the individuals that are working for me currently, and being a part of a team, and making a decision, sticking with that decision, and knowing that was the right decision is great. But yeah, I've really enjoyed my time here so far, and being in the position as head golf professional, and kind of understanding all the aspects of it. There's not one thing that I can pinpoint that says, hey, somebody didn't tell me this, that's the best part. I was well trained and understood kind of a lot, and but still every day figuring out more and more as we move forward. So it's very happy to kind of to be here.
It's a big accomplishment. Like I said, I know a lot of guys that have tried it, and just after a certain point, it's like, okay, you know what? It's not for them. But
again, it's, for me, I kind of put myself in a good position, working at certain clubs, and working alongside individuals throughout my time, but reaching out to other professionals is getting involved and reaching out is a huge aspect of it. And had I not done a lot of that stuff, I wouldn't be where I am today.
So now we're gonna finish it with this question, which is best piece of advice you've ever received in golf.
Best piece of advice I've ever received in golf, in terms of
let's say golf and business, because in your career,
listen to, instead of just making a split decision, right? Taking your time and kind of understanding that even if you think it's the right decision at the time right away, kind of understanding that there's a lot of different aspects, playing devil's advocate there's a lot of different aspects to it. So listening and understanding each situation, as opposed to just making that split decision.
Well, Lisa, man, thank you so much for having us here. This was very fun.
We'll get you out here this year. Well, I want to see that swing of yours. So
I don't know if you want that. Well, it depends on the day.
I got
it depends on the day.
No, looking forward to it. Thanks for coming. Hopefully, you enjoyed your time here.
No, absolutely. This was amazing.
Yeah, man.
Thank
absolutely.
you very much, man.
Pleasure. Appreciate you. Thanks.